half past 11 p.m. and I'm only starting now with my shooting. Oh my god. Que já disse copas. So que já disse copas, I'm hungry, but the show must go on. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Mmathapelo Dakakda here. This is an episode about 5 basic tips on how to take care of your hair. I mentioned this in my introductory video, so without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this video is just going to be 5 basic tips on how to take care of your hair. I feel like it's a foundation that you can use just to, keep your routine simple, because it's not meant to be as complicated as it's made to seem. So I'm just going to go straight into it with tip number 1. So tip number 1 is water. Our hair loves water, guys. So like I would say about 60 to 70% of what your hair needs to survive is water, and then the rest is made up of the products that you use and the routine that you get into, right? So just get a normal spray bottle and put water in it. You don't have to buy one. I'm using a bottle that has something, and that something is finished. So yeah, this is what I'm using, and you just spray this on your hair religiously every morning, every night. Every time you manipulate your hair, you use this, because it helps make your hair more elastic, and when your hair is more elastic, it's easier to stretch out, it's easier to manipulate, it's easier to style, and when it's wet, it doesn't break easily also, so which is also important. So you just spray water. Other things that you can put in your water, you can add leave-in conditioner. So this is the water, fill it up to there, right? And then this much of it will then be the leave-in conditioner, and you just shake it up, and that's what you spray on your hair. Another thing that you can do, what I'm currently on and I'm loving it, it's apple cider vinegar, rice water, lavender oil, and peppermint oil drops, right? So apple cider vinegar, let's start with that. No, rice water, sorry. So with the rice water, so how you make the rice water is you basically just take a container and make sure that it's one that you can seal, and one with the lid. So take a container, and then in that container you put, like, if this is your cup, right? If your cup is this big, this much of it will be the rice, so not a lot. So pour a bit of the rice in it, and then pour the water, and just leave it to sit for about a week, or like a week and a half, right? So then after that, once the time is up, you need to take the rice out of the container and just throw it out, because if you leave the rice in there, it's going to ferment, and it's going to just be spoiled, basically, and smell horrible. So what you do is then take that rice water, and obviously you won't use up all that rice water at once, hence why I said you can keep the water inside the container but throw out the rice itself. So this much, okay, so this much, right? So this much is going to then be your rice water, okay? And then this much is going to be your apple cider vinegar. And then after that, you put in a few drops of lavender oil and a few drops of peppermint oil. Okay, so let's start with peppermint oil. The reason for the peppermint oil is because peppermint oil generally stimulates growth, right? So it's a growth stimulator, which is good for your hair. And then, right, lavender oil is just in here to mask the smell, because rice water, guys, wow, rice water smells horrible. Like, it's embarrassing, it's that kind of smell. Like, it's the thing of, if you spray the whole mixture and someone walks in, yeah, expect to get funny stares because they're gonna think otherwise. It smells bad. So what I do is add lavender oil drops just to mask the smell. And even then the lavender oil drops like don't do much, but it helps mask the smell, right? So apple cider vinegar. So what the apple cider vinegar does is that it also stimulates growth, and then it basically strips off the dirt, right? So it's got active ingredients that are good for cleansing your hair and your scalp as well. So fine, so that's what you put in the apple cider. Okay, so those are the benefits of the apple cider vinegar. And then with the rice water, this whole concussion, guys, this whole mixture is like heaven sent. Let me tell you, I used this for 2 weeks, and already my hair just had volume. So was thick. Okay, naturally I've got thick hair, right? But it was just thicker and it had volume, and I could just feel it was different. I don't know how, but that works. That mixture, apple cider vinegar, rice water, peppermint oil, and lavender drops. Try it religiously. Use it on your hair for a month straight, and then you'll see the difference. Like, because when I did it, my hairstylist even asked me, he's like, from the first time I saw you till now, there's a huge difference. Like, what did you do to your hair, you know? And that's when I told her this is what I used and stuff. So it works. It does smell bad, but it works. That's what I use every single day religiously. That's like my holy grail. So if you are suffering from volume, and like, you want your hair to look fuller, try that mixture and it will help, Okay, fine. So that's the apple cider vinegar part. Okay, and that's the water. So 60 to 70% of our hair requires water. So water is your best friend. Best friend. Tip number two is got to do with when you're actually manipulating your hair. A lot of the common mistakes that I've picked up is that when you're manipulating your hair, right, usually, like, natural instinct is that you spray your hair and you start pulling and stretching it out with your hands, right, and downward movement from the top. What you're actually supposed to do is the opposite. So you're actually supposed to spray your hair, the ends, and then work your way up with the whole stretching out and detangling. When you're detangling your hair and you're stretching it out, work your way up. So you spray the roots, sorry, not the roots, spray the ends of your hair, right, with water, and then you start manipulating and detangling your hair. It also helps if you've got a bit of oils on your hands, like coconut oil, or like maybe a bit of like castor oil, or any jojoba oil, anything, so that when you're doing all of this, your hair is also getting nourished at the same time, so that's a really important tip, because especially if you are experiencing breakage and your hair falls off a lot, it will continue to fall off, because when you're starting from the top, by the time you get to the bottom, like, you literally just stripping your hair off and it's shedding and it's going to end up on the floor. Whereas when you start from the bottom with the water, it strengthens the ends, and then you work your way up, and then you won't experience a barbershop situation, because my hair used to fall a lot actually, and because I'm started doing that, it's a lot better. Okay, so tip number three, I'm pretty sure most of you know this by now. In fact, that's the first thing that you should know. Like, it's like the holy grail, so sulfate. You're supposed to use products that are free from sulfate, free from parabens, because these ingredients actually strip your hair off of its natural oils, and natural moisture. So especially with the shampoo, Make sure that you have the yeah, a shampoo that is sulfate free and is free from parabens, right? Yeah, make sure that you get a conditioner that is sulfate free as well. And then like be that person at the shop, okay? When you buy your products or whatever, like read the back of the label, read it through and see like a good product that is for like your natural hair. If the first two or three ingredients is water, then you're good. Like that's how you know that it's good for your hair. So just read the package label and make sure that you know what is going into your hair. Okay, so know your products and read the packaging label, you know. I know Tresemme came out with their new range for natural hair. That thing's not for us. I'm sorry. Um, it's the shampoo itself has got sulfate, so I don't know why they would do that, but it's always important, you know, before you just jump in and be excited because they're advertising it as a product for natural hair. It's important to read through the labels and know what you're putting onto your hair, right? So that was tip number 3. Okay, so tip number 4, we're going into stretching your hair out. Well, out like you're not supposed to use heat on your hair, right? Like there's a lot of methods that you can use to stretch out your hair. You can literally just plait it into twist outs or plait it into braids, and then your hair will stretch itself out when you do that. Like when you undo it in the next morning, your hair will be stretched out, right? That's one thing. You can also use the wool stretch out method, which is basically what you do is put your hair into sections, like after you've washed it and stuff, and you just take section by section and you just literally do the lock method, right? The lock method, and then you wrap the section that you've pulled out with wool, and just wrap it with wool till you reach the end. And then once you've done that, your hair would have been stretched out when you undo it in the morning, right? And then if you really do have to use heat on your hair, it's always good to apply like a thermal protector, because then your hair won't be damaged from the direct heat. And also, like if you're going to use like heat, rather use it on like the lowest temperature possible, you know. But generally I don't recommend it. I don't stretch out my hair with heat. I use my hands. I don't even use a comb actually. Like I don't use like, you know, most of the time I use, okay, the only time I'll use a comb is if I need to like obviously open up a line or whatever. But I would say 80% of the time I use my hands to do anything to my hair. And if you're going to use like a comb or a brush, you can use, I've got one here. The one I had is lost. I don't know where it got lost, but I bought a new one and I wanted to show you guys, but now I can't take this thing out. I got it from Dischem. It's 170 rand, and this one has got 2 parts to it. So if you're a wig person and you're wearing your weaves and whatnot, you can use this side of it with these bristles, right? And then for your hair, this is what I actually wanted to show you. So these are super soft, like these bristles, they're super soft, right? And this is what I use. So this is what you use, like especially if you're brushing like, you know, your edges and like your hairline and all of that. So this is what I recommend. And then the thermal protector, this is a strengthening treatment, but it also acts as a thermal protector. This is from Cantu, right? So you can even use this before once you've dyed your hair, especially if maybe your hair is damaged from dyeing it or whatever. So before you actually dye your hair, you use this. Before, if you know you're going to dye your hair, you use it. If you know you're going to use heat on your hair, you're supposed to use it. According to this, it says apply it 3 days before you do anything of that nature to your hair, and 3 days afterwards continuously, so that's what you can use. That's a thermal mask that I have, but I'm pretty sure you can find others. Just search online and stuff. So just use a thermal protector so that your hair doesn't break, especially and get damaged from the heat and dyeing or bleaching your hair and all of that stuff, right? So that was tip number 4.
So I've decided to break my video up into 2 parts. Part 2 will be me breaking down the 3 levels of your hair porosity and how to take care of it accordingly. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned. Please subscribe and just comment down below. And I will see you on my next episode. From my crown to yours, tie tie.